I'm all grit, and you're gonna fall a lot, but just keep getting up. Just keep getting up and know it's gonna get better and better. I'm Christina Stembel. I'm the founder and CEO of Farmgirl Flowers. Farmgirl Flowers is a direct-to-consumer e-com flower company that ships now nationwide, and we do things a little bit differently than some of the other flower companies you might think of. Farmgirl Flowers started about 8 years ago from my dining room. I came up with the idea while working at Stanford University. I oversaw events and programs department at the law school. I found that we were spending a lot of money on decor for the events, and specifically flowers. Farmgirl Flowers was the first idea I had that ticked the boxes of, number one, I wanted it to be a business that could grow really big. So I didn't want the maximum amount of market share that I could acquire to be like $1 million. It's a $35 billion industry. The e-commerce space alone is $3 billion. And there were pretty much 4 players that made up 3/4 of that space, which meant that there was plenty of room to take market share from those large players. So I was blown away by how big the industry was and how little innovation had taken place in recent years. Living in Silicon Valley, to find an industry that doesn't have 10 disruptors in it by now was kind of an anomaly. So back in 2010, most companies weren't doing a less is more philosophy. Now it's a lot easier to educate consumers because a lot of different industries are limiting options. But back in 2010, it was still kind of a more is more mentality with business. We do things we like to think a little bit better and very differently than traditional e-com flower companies. So instead of having hundreds of lackluster options, we only offer a few better options on our website. Which means that the consumer doesn't need to spend an hour sorting through 100 different options to find the least ugly one. And then when they send it to the recipient, it doesn't look anything like what it was supposed to look like online. So what you see is what you get with Farmgirl Flowers. I wanted to go big and I wanted to do something good in the world. There were several things that I could do with Farmgirl that left a positive imprint on the environment and just what we could do with our team members. So we're able to drastically reduce our waste by about 40% of flower waste because you don't get to pick what the flowers are. And also we're just bringing joy and love to people's lives, which is an amazing thing to be able to do. And then third, if I was going to start a business, it needed to be able to be bootstrapped. I wasn't going to be able to raise capital out of the gate. I didn't have the pedigree. I don't have a college degree. Especially in 2010, there was no way I was going to be able to go out and raise millions of dollars from the start. So I needed it to be able to be a business that I could bootstrap with my own savings account. And at that point, my savings account was $49,000, which I thought was a lot of money. It turns out it's not a ton of money when starting a business. Being a female founder has been really challenging, and I think it's one of our biggest reasons why we're so successful. Why that's important is our consumers are female. So consumers in the floral space are female. I was blown away to realize this. Advertisements, all the campaigns are geared towards men buying flowers, and so when I started researching the flower space, I was amazed to find out that 80% of people that buy flowers are women buying for women. As a female-founded company, I can relate much better to what women actually want. So even as we see a lot of new companies crop up in the space, the one thing that they don't replicate is the product, because it's really hard to do what we do. It's super hard. I mean, we make every bouquet in-house in San Francisco. This is where all of the magic happens. This is our shipping office. Real fancy. It was amazing to see that people, they really support us as a company. They're kind of like growing with us. And as I learn things and have to pivot and change and adapt our company, especially, I've never run a $20 million company. Now I'm running a $20 million company, and I'm learning as I go. And to see that our customers care about us as a company as well and not just love our product was really amazing to see.